Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be showcasing my grand arena, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about my approach to it. So what I do to prepare for it, and how I think about what characters to keep on defense and offense. And towards the end, I'm going to have a few battles. Um, so what I do first is I go into my Galactic War and I create a few templates for both defense and offense. So for example, this time when I knew that it was going to be a 3v3 Grand Arena, I went in and created a few templates for to keep on defense and a few to keep on offense. And the way I decide what kind of teams to keep on defense or offense is usually for defense, I like to keep beefy characters. Pre-taunting characters are great, like Shore or L3 or Sith Trooper. Auto tanking tanks are extremely valuable as well. You have GK and Zalbar, and in some cases RG as well. So these are tanks which taunt when a certain condition in the battle is met, and they don't have to necessarily wait for their turns. Some other characters that I like to keep on defense are healers. You have guys like Shore who are both tanks and healers, so they're quite valuable as well. You've got Barriss and Hermit Yoda. Barriss makes any team tougher to take down. So those are great on defense as well. And then finally, you have some speed-based leads, which automatically boost up the speed of all characters in your team. For example, you've got Admiral Akbar who gives plus 25 speed to all rebels, or you've got Tarkin. Those are characters which make it slightly harder for your team to take down just because the other team has to have an additional 20-30 speed to get a jump on your team. On offense, I like to keep powerful teams which have cheap counters, which you don't want to keep on defense, like Finn or JTR, which can be very easily taken out by Night Sisters, but which can take out almost any meta team by itself. Or even CLS and Treya. Treya has got some cheap counters when you think about the Magma team, but by itself, the Treya on offense can take out any other team. So those are some kinds of teams that I like to keep on offense. There are also control-based characters who are pretty good on offense. I mean, you have Thrawn, obviously, whose fracture is probably one of the best debuffs in the game. Definitely keep on offense for Grand Arena. You have C3PO, who also does much better on offense than on defense. You've got Boba. Boba I like to separate from Bosk. Bosk is much better on defense, but Boba I like to keep on offense just because he can ignore taunt. He's fast, can apply ability block, which can neuter a lot of teams, and especially to take out Night Sister teams. Boba can just go around taunts and execute the Night Sister, preventing the revives from a zombie. So Boba is a very good tune to have on offense as well. Apart from these, there are also some tunes with which you can completely solo whole teams. Like you have the Wampa, you have Nest, you've got Night Sister Spirit, you've got Scion in some cases as well. These are tunes which, in a close matchup, you can keep on offense and go with an undergeared team and get extra points. So those are great for that as well. Tunes which do AoE days are excellent in a Grand Arena setting as well. So again, you've got the Wampa here, you've got Logray, Holdo, Nest. These are all excellent characters for offense. And then the other form of control is stunning. You really need, teams and toons which are really good at stunning. You've got Jin, Royal Guard, Han Solo, R2. The Night Sisters have got a lot of good stun. Greedo, Cad. These are all extremely good at controlling the tone of the game. So I like to keep these guys on offense as well. So now that I've spoken a little bit about creating templates and offense, what I do is just before the lock, I go ahead and try my hand at modding these teams out. And what I do is for modding, I specifically look at a few characters who are extremely important to get speed on. So characters like Thrawn, for example, or Nest, Paplu, he needs to go out, beat really fast so that he can jumpstart the rest of the Vox team. You have Rex, who also benefits from speed. On defense, you really need a very strong Bosk and crew, a really, really fast boss and crew to make it difficult for the other team. And obviously on offense, BB-8 and Poe are great candidates for speed as well. So I select about 8 to 10 handful of tunes and mod them extremely fast. And then the rest of the characters, I first mod my defensive team just because I want them to be better modded. On offense, you can get away with slightly lesser mods just because you're controlling the flow of the battle. So that's how I like to think about modding in terms of defense and offense. One thing I like to do is on defense, I like to keep my tunes at least at 280, 270 speed. Um, if I'm not able to get the speed up there, I want to keep at least one tune which is an auto taunter. For example, in this particular team of Kira, L3, and Vander Chewy, they're not typically very fast. My fastest tune, I think, over there is Kira with 240 or 250. But to overcome that speed disadvantage, what I do is I have L3 in there who is going to auto taunt at the beginning of the battle. Here also, Shore is the auto taunter. Even with Tarkin's speed lead, the speed on this team is not more than 230 or 240. So having Shore in there helps give that extra bit of buffer. In this case, in the Savage team, the team itself is pretty slow, especially Savage and Maul, but Dooku is extremely fast, and um, I've got him, I think, modded at 270 or something like that. So either have a pre-taunter in the team or have an auto-taunter like Kenobi, for example, or have toons who are at least 270 to 280 speed. That helps to make it more difficult for your opponent. Now, let's enter my grand arena and see what happens over here. Now, before I get into the offense, what I like to do is I like to evaluate my opponents from the rewards section and just see who I'm facing. See if they have any Revens, Treyas, any key tunes like that. Right now, for this particular Grand Arena, I'm facing this guy, Kryptonite 1372 Discord. Um, he's got a pretty good inventory. He's got a Han, Chewie, C3PO, pretty fast Thrawn. It's got all the Night Sisters pretty well zetaed. He's got Treya. I believe he's got the tenacity build on Treya, so he's come well prepared to take out my Revan. And one thing I like to do is go into the inventory and then I sort on speed. And what that does is it tells me exactly which characters he has prioritized in terms of modding. And I see over here he's got a pretty fast Thrawn 306. Next is BB-8, so his resistance team is going to be pretty good as well. The rest of the characters are all below 270 or so. Um, his Freya is pretty fast as well. But yeah, so that's one way in which I can get a sense of how good his roster is and what teams he has prioritized. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this particular view of the inventory roster is live, so it does not necessarily correspond to what has been locked at the beginning of the Grand Arena lock time. So if you're viewing this, it's better to see it almost immediately after lock just to get an idea. But after that, I wouldn't really trust this because things might change. So the best way to reliably see the speed and stats of the tunes you're facing is to directly go into the Grand Arena match and go in and click on individual characters and see what their speed is. These speeds and stats correspond to what was existing at the time of lock, so it's a much more reliable way to assess your opponent. Now, let's go ahead and before I start attacking my opponent here, let me just go and briefly show you my defensive setup. So in the front zone, what I like to do is I first see who my opponent is. If I'm evenly matched or I'm matched with someone who's slightly weaker than me, then I like to go extremely strong on defense because you have the upper hand and advantage in that case. If I have a tougher opponent, then I like to play the efficiency game and go slightly lighter on defense and go pretty heavy on offense and try to win on things like max health, max protection, or undersized party, anything to give you extra points. I usually do it if I get a tougher opponent. Another thing to keep in mind is teams which regenerate a lot of health and protection, like Crew and Bosk. If I get a tougher opponent, I like to keep those kind of teams on offense, just because there are more chances of ending up in a situation where you end up with full health and protection and end up getting those bonus points. Um, if you're playing the efficiency game with a tougher opponent, it's also advisable to put in characters in your defense which have a lot of AoEs or can reduce the can hit below protection and reduce the health of a character directly, like Night Sisters or Sith Assassin. Those kind of characters are extremely good for defense if you're playing the efficiency game, and not just AoEs, but even characters which counter a lot. Guard Saxon teams and so on and so forth. So those are pretty good to keep on defense as well. Um, so those are just some thoughts on what kind of teams to place if you're facing a tougher opponent or if you're facing a weaker opponent. So in this particular case, this particular opponent's mods are slightly lesser than mine. He doesn't have Revan, and I've got Revan. The rest of the characters he does have, and they're pretty well modded. But overall, in terms of G12, we are evenly matched. G11, I've got a few more, and I've got a few more Zetas as well. So I feel I've got a slight upper hand over here, which is why I've decided to go with a strong defense. So I like to keep at least two tough teams in the front and one surprise team at the back. So let me show you what I have in the front in both these sections. In this area, I've got the two tough teams that I have are Crew and the Kira Scoundrel team. These are really good teams, pretty well modded. I've got my Crew at 262, and after the 30 speed bonus, he's effectively at 292. With a decent amount of tenacity as well, so that's a tough team to take down. And then I've got my Kira team with L3 and Vando Chewy. So these are the two tough teams, and the one medium team I would say is Akbar lead. But even over here, I have kept a very decent tank, the Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, and I have my Leia at 256, which translates to about 280 after the speed bump. So I managed to at least stay within the guidelines of 270 to 280 speed on characters, even in a medium team. At the top, I've got my Revan team, which is pretty well modded. It's not arena modded, but I still have him pretty fast with one of my best speed sets at 296. Um, it's on Grandmaster Yoda. I've kept a critical damage set in the arena. I usually go with an offense set just because uh, facing other Ravens, you've got a lot of crit immunity and you tend to crit less often. So an offense set is better there. But in this case, I went for the crit damage set, and I went with the old Ben over here. Uh, Pretty fast old Ben. I've given him a speed set and kept him at about 248. So with the Revan speed bump, he should be about 268 or so, which should be good enough to get his AOE off. And then I've got a GK, Barris, and Hermit Yoda team, which should require something like a JTR or a Finn to take out. And then I've got the Savage, Dooku, and Maul team. So this is the the semi-medium team that probably won't be as tough to take out in this wall. At the back, so just behind the Revan and the GK team, I have my surprise team. So what I like to do is keep a couple of good teams in the front, and then at the back, keep at least one surprise good team, which they'll find really tough to take out once they've exhausted all of their or most of their good teams from just trying to take out the teams in the front. So in this case, the surprise team in the front wall at the top is the Bastila team. I have Ezra, who's the damage dealer here, and Jolie, who's going to be reviving a lot. So this team is pretty tough to take out. There's a lot of tenacity in this team. You won't be able to debuff them. There is a lot of assists in this team. Each and every person in this team calls a lot of assists, so that's going to be annoying as hell to take out. And hopefully they would have exhausted some counters by the time they get to the back wall. And then I've got the Tarkin lead over here, um, which is not that great, but it's enough to annoy folks. And then at the back, I've got the on the lower section, I have a Bosk team. This is not a Bosk bounty hunter team. I find them too squishy in 3v3. But I like to keep Bosk with other characters who do a lot of debuffs just because Bosk heals up pretty well with that. And both Scion as well as Sith Trooper are extremely tanky and extremely difficult to take out. And this team can really surprise you if you've exhausted some of your options from taking out the teams in the front. So that's my surprise team for the back out here. And I have a Mission Zalbar and Karth team as well, which is also another nasty team if you don't have a JTR or a Rex Wampa team to help take it out, or even a Basti team, which is a good counter to this. But these kind of teams are good to keep at the back. So that's a brief overview of my defenses. Now let's get into the battles. So so what I like to do is I like to take out one wall first, just to expose what's there at the back, just so that I can decide what teams to I can afford to spend. Now on offense, I have my CLS Han Chui, I've got Treya, I've got EP, I've got two Night Sisters teams, I've got Finn and JTR, both those resistance teams. And I have my Vader and Rex Wampa as well. So I've got a decent amount of offense left. I just need to decide how I need to take these out. Just looking at these two walls, this one looks to be the tougher wall. I scouted the speeds briefly on these teams, and his Boa is pretty fast at plus 135 speed. And I believe his Vader is at 206, and with the speed bump bonus, probably be at around 230 or so. And the other team as well, the Maul team, he's got Maul and Maul in the lead with the EP and Sith Trooper. So he's got a pre-taunt, which is going to make it slightly tricky. And he's got EP at 225, which with the Maul bonus speed bump gets him to about 270 effective speed. So both these teams are slightly tougher, and it's got a nest in the other team as well. So I'm probably going to leave this till the end, and I'm going to first take out the team at the top, expose what's behind out here, and then decide which teams I want to use to take out the one below. So let's go on top and see how we want to take this out. Now, the team at the top, the Akbar team, even though it's all gold, and even though Akbar gives a speed bump, the team is very poorly modded. I see that Akbar is only 138. Um, Leia is at 164. There's zero speed added here. I don't know why. Leia is one of the fastest characters. And L3, who has a pre-taunt, is modded for protection and is only at 143 speed. And let me see what the tenacity is. Tenacity is at about 50%. Yeah, so I believe he is modded for tenacity. So L3 is the main problem over here. But the good thing about this team is L3 does not have any synergy at all with the rebels. So that team is going to be relatively easy to take out. It's slow. I just need something um, to dispel L3 with, and then I need something with burst damage to take out Leia first and then Akbar. Now L3, I really don't know why they've kept L3 in this team. L3 is great with scoundrels, just because if you attack droids or scoundrels, L3 gains turn meter, but that's not going to happen if I attack rebels. So it's what I can do probably is go with a big steam to attack this Wiggs team. So that would be, let's see, so wedge lead, Biggs, and then I need something to dispel L3 at the beginning. So I think I'm going to use Chopper. Now Chopper is my Chopper is decently fast at 223. Chopper naturally has a very fast speed, so it's a great tank to use on offense for the dispel as well as for the extra speed. So I'm probably going to go in with this team and see how I do. All right. So very first thing, I am going to dispel and stun. So that's another good thing about Chopper. Okay. So looks like I wasn't able to stop Leia from getting stealthed. Okay. I'll have to wait for Chopper's dispel to come around again. All right, there we go. Stun L3 and oh, lost lost pigs, which is not ideal. This is going to be difficult to recover from. All right. So, nope, this was a bad battle. Hmm, I will need to. I will need to go in with another team to take that out. Probably something which can give a degree of control. I think I will. I don't have anyone dispelling. My Death Trooper is. I need someone with AoEs, and my Death Trooper is on defense, so I will need to use. Let's see, should I use Boba? I can probably use Boba or maybe Jin. Yeah, let me go with the maybe Jin. Um, hmm. I don't have anyone to dispel. Let's see. All right, let's see. Um, Let me try Jin. Jin can stun, and I can probably use Cassian and K2SO. Well, worth a shot. That was a wasted battle. All right. Probably not, don't want to use the revive feature. Okay. Oh, that's a problem with L3. She dispels, she cleanses herself when she gets hit. All right, so we've got rid of L3, and the rest is a piece of cake. I don't have full health on Cassian, but that's fine. 30 banners, so that was a setback. I didn't expect to waste one battle in the very first match. All right, let's see what else I can use on these other teams. So the Bosk is only 4 stars and 228, so not too fast. Let's see. They've got Cad and Greedo, who are relatively weak, and I don't believe that fast as well. 117 and 158. Now, one thing about this team is they they don't have any AoEs, so it's possible to use one Night Sister combination that I really like to use, which is Empty Lead, Zombie, and Acolyte. Now, Acolyte goes in stealth pretty soon, and even if Empty dies, your Thousand dies, you'll have Zombie available there, and then the lack of any AoE, Acolyte should be able to finish them off. Now there are thermal detonators that the team has, but Acolyte should be able to get health up pretty fast. And in fact, even if Thousand dies, the basics of Acolyte and Zombie should be able to call him back from the grave and take care of the team. So let's see. Okay, so boss taunted. That's fine. He's pretty weak. He's going to go down pretty fast. I'm going to almost took them out with the AoE. Okay, so that one's gone. And this guy's gone as well. All right, now it's just a question of cleaning up Bosk. Now, there's no way to recover protection in this case, but just have to ensure we end with full health. All right, and one big hit to finish it off. All right, so 51 banners. That's fine. At least it was a first battle victory, which I need right now. All right, final team is GK Barris. Now let's check out the speeds on this team. GK is at 205. Barris is at 147. And Ezra is 224. Now, so one really good team that I like to use on offense is Finn, Poe, and RT. And they're really good in 3v3. I could have used them against the Bounty Hunter team with Bosk, but just because of the extra 50% tenacity boost that Bosk gets, I really wasn't sure whether it would work or not. So I think I should be able to use it against this GK team though. Just need to make sure that buff immunity lands on GK. Yeah, tenacity is only 48%, so I think this should work. I typically have my resistance team at between 70 to 100% tenacity, so I think this should work. Let's see. So Finn, Poe, and RT. You can use C3PO instead of RT if you're trying to take out a tougher team. But these three are a really good offensive team. My Poe, I believe, is 256, so he should go before everyone. All right, buff immunity has been landed, so that means even if these guys get crit immunity, GK is not going to taunt on crits. I'm going to use my basic over here. Did not proc the expose, but what I'm going to do over here is, since Ezra is going to go next, yep. All right, okay. This is troublesome. Let's see. Let's get rid of the foresight, buff immunity, and get rid of the taunt. So, foresight. Oh, this is not going too well. Let's try to get some exposers popped. Buff immunity. Let's try to get rid of this guy. Oh, bad luck. Okay, let's just get rid of him. So he was the main damage dealer, but doesn't look like we're going to win this match, unfortunately. Oh well. Let's see if we can take out a little more. Health and protection, and then try to go back with another team. All right, so that was a disaster as well. So that's always the problem with these grand arena battles which have multiple sections. You want to try to save your best teams for the end, which is why I'm not using my CLS Han or Treya Dart Nihilus. But it can end up backfiring pretty badly um, with you needing more battles. Let's see what I can use to take out these guys. Something with heal immunity. So I could either use JTR as to it's too expensive a team to waste on this. I think I can use Sid over here with let's see. Maybe Boba. Boba also has got healing immunity. And CAD under Boba is going to have stun, which I think we need to control this team a little better with stuns. Buff immunity. Which other team gives out buff immunity? Let's see. I could try going in with Asajj, Daka, and Talia, but that's nah, that's not going to work. All right, let me try. I could try a Vader team. Let's see. Sith. Where is Sith? So I can try Vader, Sidious, and let me keep a tag, maybe RG for the extra stun. So Sidious has got healing immunity. Vader will help to land the dots, which should take these guys out. One danger is with the dots, um, Barris is going to end up taking a lot of turns just because of the debuffs, but I'm going to chance that. She's going to end up getting a lot of turn meter. Just let's see. Let's get rid of this guy. Healing immunity here. Ability block. Good thing about Vader's ability block is it can't be resisted or evaded by Jedi. Let's... Alright, this should take care of it. And Sid has got the extra evasion against Jedi as well, which is nice. Stun. Let's get an ability block in here. This guy's just not landing the healing immunity. No worries, they just kill themselves. $32. Second try. All right, let's see what's behind this wall, and then we can decide how to use the rest of our offense. All right, we have the sisters. Now, this is going to be problematic. Okay. So he's got... Do I still have Boba left? I did not use Boba for anything, right? Yeah. Yeah, so Boba is definitely going to be the go-to team for the sisters. So the speed on Talzin is 157 plus 30, 187. Speed on Asajj is 123 plus another 45 for the bonus plus 30. Probably end up being close to 200. And speed on Thalia is 150. Okay, so they're slow, but they're modded decently well for offense. 875. Yeah, so they're modded for offense. So I can't afford many mistakes over here. So the plague is definitely going to get set off at some time. But if with Boba I can place an ability block first and then control with Greedo and Cad stuns, I think I should be able to take care of this one. Good thing is there's no tank over here and no Daka, so these guys are not going to revive. Except through Talzin's lead ability. But I'll have to chance that. Let's see. All right, let's try to land ability block. Okay. Landed ability block on all. Let me... Thermal detonator. Okay. Let me try to stun here. All right. Let's take out this one and try to execute. Not... Okay, so the execute didn't work, but but they're quite squishy, so we should be able to take them out pretty easily. Let's try and execute. Yep, and done. All right, 50 banners. We lost a little health and protection, but they are a dangerous team, the Night Sisters, so anything on the first win is great. All right, let's see. Um, let's think about how we want to take out the other team. Now, this is a very irritating team to face. They've got Acolyte, who's going to hide behind the zombie and on, behind stealth. And you've got Daka lead, which is going to give a lot of health bonus, and it's going to make Acolyte really tough to take out. So I probably want to save a good team for that. Um, let's see, something with AoE. So let's see, probably CLS Han and Chewie if I have them remaining. Or Rex Wampa actually. Rex Wampa might work pretty well over there as well. Wampa will just keep building offense and just give an AoE on everyone. But let's wait for that and see if we can take out this wall before proceeding further. Okay, so what do we use for this wall? Hmm. Let's see. So the problem is this the Vader team is extremely fast with the Boba at 282. So I'm going to, and have a pre-taunt. I'm probably going to need maybe a JTR for this. Let's see. Um, so resistance. I think I'll go with the resistance and see if I can take them out with this. Need to get the speed bump on them. Let me, oh, couldn't. All right, let me try to get rid of this guy. Boba can be extremely dangerous, so we need to get rid of him first and keep Show Trooper under control, and then we target Vader. Let's try to land a stun. No stun there. Oh, I think Vader had a Zeta. That's why he can't be stunned or turn meter reduced. But my mistake. I should have checked for that. Don't think I'll be able to recover all the health on R2, but I should be able to get Illuminated Destiny off and at least recover the um, protection on. Oh, probably not going to be able to get Illuminated Destiny. That's fine. All right, so this team is taken care of. 51 banners. Let's see what else we have here. We have a Zol team. And we have a Dooku team. Let's see how fast Dooku is. 250. What should I use for Dooku? You need something with a big hit to take out Nest. Luckily, the Nest is not as starred, only 3 stars, so 11k health, so shouldn't be that much of a problem, and she's not going to be recovering protection back either. I could go in with my Ewoks. Yeah, I could try Ewoks. Um, Chirpa, Wicket, and I'm thinking Logray for the days. Yeah, these guys need days. Both Dooku and Nest need the days. All right, let's try Ewoks on these guys. So Chirpa, Wicket for the damage, and Logray. Or I think we might need a tank, Paplu. Hmm. There's no Elder, so these guys are going to get stunned as well by Dooku. That's going to be problematic. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. Let me actually try the Maul team. I think I usually use Rex, Wampa, and Visas together. I think I might just do that against these guys because effectively that EP is about 270 speed, and yeah, I need a strong team to take them out. Oh, hang on, I've got my Nest. I can probably use that against Dooku, Sid, and Nest. And my Nest is reasonably fast. Yeah. Maybe I should do that first. Or yeah, let me just take care of this one first. Healer, Visas. So Visas here just because of the extra revive and of the bonus against Sith. So now EP is going to go first. He's effectively at 270 speed. I'm just hoping nobody important gets stunned. All right. So we just need to take care of the Sith Trooper. That's a good thing. Now that Tenacity is up, I'm not going to get stunned or dazed, which is extremely helpful. Let's take out Maul. So that's one good thing about Visas against against Sith. They just melt away with all the assists. All right, so this team is taken care of. Wasn't too tough. Let's go back to Dooku, Sid, and Nest, the last team over here. I think Nest should be able to take care of them. Um, they don't have any days with them. It's got Dooku's got shock, and Sid has got healing immunity. Um, Nest does have days, but their Nest is pretty slow. 244. I believe my Nest is about 260 to 70. Let me see. 272. So my Nest is going to go before their Dooku and their Nest. Question is, should I send in Nest alone or with someone? Let's see. Which leaders do I have left? Hmm. I could take in fives. Nah. Let's see who else would be. decent against Dooku, Sid. Alright, so Lando lead gives Scoundrel and Rebel allies plus 15 speed and extra critical damage, so that could work. Let's see which other Scoundrels I have. So Nest in there, and we have Sith that we're facing. Should I go with someone who can control? Maybe should I go with an extra revive just in case? Alright, I think I'll go in with this team. Let's see. Probably overkill, but let's see. So one good thing about getting this guy in is Captain Han is all these extra debuffs. The cooldown of this ability, Hunker Down, keeps getting reduced by 1 whenever an ally suffers a debuff. So in a case like this where there's so many debuffs, it's almost always going to be on off cooldown. Let's see, let's get rid of this guy. Okay, one down. It's okay if I lose someone because Han is just going to bring them back. There, we just used it and we can use it again. I don't think the other ability I'll be able to use to bring back Lando. But let me just get rid of Nest over here. All right, so we got 48 banners, lost one. That's fine. Let's see what's behind here. All right, so we have our crew and we have an evasion lead Old Ben team. So that looks like a no major threats there. Those guys, the pilots can hit hard, but not really a threat. The problem is going to be this crew team. Let's see how well modded it is. 209. Nah, nothing much. 175. So effectively 240 speed on the crew and modded for health. Okay. So I have my CLS tree team left. I've got my Treya team left. I've got my EP team left. And I've got Asajj Darka Talia. Let's see who I want to use where. And I have my Ewoks as well. I would have normally used Ewoks against First Order, but that's only in a 5v5 situation. They're not going to have enough damage for in a 3v3 situation. Let's see, who do I use for this? I could use, so I've already used a Wampa, but I could use Asajj, Darka, and Talia over here. Asajj should be able to build up enough offense with multiple deaths of the zombie. So I think that should work over here. Let me see. Maybe I can also have Spirit in there instead of Thalia. Let's see. Night Sisters. So Asajj, Lead, Daka, Spirit of Thalia. Now, Thalia has good synergy with Asajj just because she's able to heal so much. And that goes well with Asajj's lead, which is every time they fall below 100% health, I don't really need the dispel from zombies, so let me try from spirit. So let me try Thalia. Thalia can cleanse as well, which I think will be useful in case anyone is stunned. All right, I don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. All right, let's dispel here. Okay, so she's gone into stealth. Now we need to try to get rid of Daka 3 times. And then take care of zombie. I'm gonna leave Acolyte for now. Let's see, so that's okay, so Daka did not revive back. Probably died due to, I don't know why she died and did not revive back. Usually if she dies from a dot or plague, then she has a tough time reviving, but that wasn't the case out here. All right. So that's another good reason to use um, Asajj in this lead. Asajj has got a Dispel, which is extremely useful against this kind of stealth tactics. Let's try to stun her to prevent her from going into stealth and see if we can finish her off. Finished, but she came back. I don't know why Daka didn't come back. It's really a mystery. Okay, we've got this under control. Just have to make sure we so dispel. Probably gonna die a second time. Yeah, we just have to make sure. Bring her back. Dispel and give turn meter to Asajj, and then I use the AoE to, since she's staggered, just want to buy enough time to she got into stealth again. Never mind. Dispel and take care of her. So that's the last time. And she's taken care of, and we go. All right, full health. Okay, so that team is taken care of, 51 banners. Now we have, now we're in a much better situation. 2 teams left, and I've got my CLS Han Chewie as well as Treya and Darth Nihilus and EP as well. Yeah, I think the rest of the 2 teams are fine. I should be able to take these out pretty well. Now, who should I use against crew? Maybe CLS Han Chewie. All right, let's go with this team. Okay, let's see. Let's take care of this guy so it doesn't taunt. And try to stun him. Reduce turn meter here. Stun again. All right. So this guy is taken care of now. Let's see if I can get a little bit of health back every time Chewie attacks. Yeah, I was able to get full health back on Chewie. All right. Now we have a last team. I can just use my Triad, Darth Nihilus, and Thrawn. And that should be pretty straightforward. All right, it was a full clear, but a couple of unnecessary deaths, which, yeah, probably could have avoided, but that's a problem. You don't want to overcommit early on, and you tend to, sometimes make mistakes like that. But that's fine. I don't think my guy is going to clear me. I checked out his roster, and I don't think he has the teams left to take out a Revan and a few of the other ones that I have. Let's take a look at my defense again. So I've got 2,051 points, and let's see how many. I've got two teams which I had to go in twice. Everything else was a one shot. Yep. Night Sisters as well, one shot. Yep. So two teams I had to go in twice. Um, and yeah, they were not good teams at all, especially the Admiral Akbar team. But you learn. Now to take out, so for him to be able to beat me, he can only afford um, two losses at the most, um, maybe three if he goes by efficiency. But so he has to take out my GK team, which will probably require a JTR, a Jedi Training Ray, or some other team with healing immunity. Revan, which he'll probably need his Treya for. He's got CLS Han, Chewie on offense as well, so he could use that for one of those teams on top. Now these two teams over here, both Crew as well as Kira, are tough teams to take out. So Kira is another team which will probably require JTR. Um, and Crew, since given the speed that I have on my Crew, 262, so effectively 292, um, he won't be able to use resistance on that. So it's going to be a tough job for him over there. Um, and then a couple of surprises at the back, which is a super fast Bosk, which is a Bosk at I think around 289 with 90% tenacity, and Mission and Zalva on the cart, both of which are irritating teams to take out. So it's definitely going to take more than two battles to get through those teams. So I think I'm in a reasonably comfortable position. All right, that was just a brief overview of some of the strategies that I like to use when thinking about Grand Arena. Hope it was useful to you. Let me know in the comments if there's anything specific you'd like to see, or if there's some way that I could improve on some of these videos. And until next time, I'll see you later.